What's going on, guys? Today I have a plan for a project that I didn't actually have planned to come out until much later in this series, but I gotta break it out so that I can do it for today's build because I totally screwed up the project that I was gonna do for today. I accidentally made a cut in a completely the wrong direction and filled the wrong pieces, and I didn't realize until this morning, so I had to scrap that project. Which means that I've taken all these pieces out of storage for today. So these pieces are leftover from my 1x1 cross cube. Now I really love that puzzle and I wanted to make another one because I was going to send one to GR Cuba and I also wanted one for myself. But I never got around to making that second one because I never got around to making the core piece to go in the center. I just was lazy and didn't bother to do it. But I still had all of these spare pieces left over and I wanted to use them to make a 1x1x4. Now I've made a 1x1x2, a 1x1 and a 1x1x3, so I figured that a 1x1x4 would be the next up in the series that I should try. But there is a difference. Up until now, I've just been connecting pieces to the core or just making singular pieces that don't have any mechanism. So I have to figure out a way to get 4 pieces to stay together and turn on one axis. And there's one more hiccup in this as well. I don't actually have a core cubie to base this whole mechanism on, so I only have 4 centerpieces, and I have to figure out a way to get them all to connect with each other, and I only have cubing hardware to do it. I don't have any long bolts or any screws or any skewers or anything that I can make the mechanism out of. I don't imagine it's going to be that difficult, but I kind of want to preserve the quality that the previous ones had. So this is going to be a bit of a weird build, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get started.
Because all of the pieces were already filled, it was time to jump straight into the sanding. So I took all the pieces over to my belt sander and I sanded them all down into rough cubes. After I was finished with that, I rounded off all of the edges and rubbed all the pieces down with Scotch-Brite. It was now time to figure out a way of connecting them all together. I decided the best way to go about doing this was to use a core that I already had, so I trimmed it down so that it would fit inside 2 of the cubies directly in the center. I drilled a little deeper into all the cubies just so the core and the screws would have a little bit more room. And then I began to assemble the puzzle, and I was very surprised to see that it wasn't that difficult at all.
Ah, damn it.
The puzzle was a little tight, but overall just fine, so I painted it up and then I sticked it up, and this was the final result. I'm not overly sold with how this puzzle looks or how this puzzle turns. I think I could make it better, but overall I'm pretty happy with what I managed to do in the space of a couple of hours. I think I'm going to have to revisit this puzzle at a later time and try and make it a lot better than I did in this video. I'd also like to figure out a modular solution so that I could make 1x1x n puzzles of any length I can imagine. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video just as much as I did. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Oh, bugger.